I get asked all the time, Adam, I want to make money. I want to make reptiles my living like you do. How do I do it? Well, today we're going to go over how you can start a reptile business with $1,000 and make it your living. My name's Adam. This is Diamond. You're watching Wickens Wicked Reptiles. Stick around. So I asked you guys a couple weeks ago, what do you want to see? Do you want to be a breeder, influencer? What do you want? So from the poll, I'm going to take 3 things and I'm going to explain how to do with a little bit of money, like $1,000, a medium amount of money, like $5,000, or a little bit more money, like $10,000. So let's get into it. Let's start off with the easy one, being an animal educator. How do you spend the money if you only have $1,000 to do it? Now, if you want to be an animal educator, I highly recommend that you work for a different animal educator first. You put in some time, you learn from them, or you go to show, you do something rather than just being like, I want to scream in front of kids about reptiles. Like, don't do that. Put in a little bit more effort, make sure you know what you're talking about, and you're giving value to the people that you'll be charging for birthday parties, events, school talks, whatever. But I will tell you, animal education is the reason that I do this. When I was in kindergarten, my librarian brought in her husband, who is an animal researcher and rescuer, and they brought in a ball python and a sulcata tortoise and a bunch of things, and I got hooked. This was 26 years ago, and I have never lost my passion for reptiles because of that day. And you can be that person for somebody too. So how do you spend your money? You got $1,000, okay? Well, you're not buying a company car, right? So here's what I would recommend instead. You have your own transportation. The most important thing that most people do not think about, insurance.
It's so easy to use Geico.com, a caveman could do it.
What?
Oh no, not cool. I did not know you were there.
You're gonna need insurance to do these things because if you don't have insurance and your animal bites a kid for whatever reason, very unlikely, but if it happens, they could sue you, especially in the US. I don't know why you guys love suing people so much, but you do.
Don't sue me. That's the opposite of the point that I'm trying to make.
And this is a real concern. So make sure that you have liability insurance if a kid gets hurt or even, you know, Karen's child gets bit by a corn snake and doesn't realize it but comes home with pinpricks, you know?
How dare you!
Now this isn't your $1,000, sorry to go on the tangent, just thought it was important because this isn't a one-time purchase. This is every single month, so, and I have no idea what it costs. Depends where you are. But here's what I would do. I would take $300 and I would put it aside. Who knows what's going to happen? You need to repair your vehicle, you need to go on a vet trip, whatever. Take $300 at least and set it aside, 30%, which leaves you $700 left. For $1,000, if that's your budget, I would recommend setting up your socials and your website first. You cannot have a business in 2022 or whatever year beyond that you're watching this, or before if you have a DeLorean and you're going back in time. Either way, if you're watching this past 2005, you can't have a business without having socials and a website. If someone says, oh, this is my business, it doesn't matter if it's a door and window company, a pool company, a reptile company, it doesn't matter. If you don't have socials, I don't want to do business with you. You are stuck in the Stone Ages. So instead, spend your money on supplies, places to keep your animals, make sure that they have a clean place to stay, buy, you know, the F10 or veterinary sanitizer, buy extra food or set money aside for food, buy proper caging, whatever. And I recommend caging too. Set up the caging so you can take pictures of the caging to show the kids or whoever you're going to see as an educator or presenter, okay? I would recommend doing that. Stick some of your money in there. So let's suppose that you have $500 left, okay? After all that's said and done, you have $500 left. Then you're probably already gonna have animals. I recommend you start with animals you keep anyway, but now this is a business. And let's suppose that you only have a corn snake and a bearded dragon, but you don't have a leopard gecko. And maybe you wanna show native species, so you need to go get a garter snake. I wouldn't recommend getting them just for like, don't get anything you don't actually wanna keep yourself. What I do with this business, and we'll talk about social media in a second, everything that I keep, I wanna keep. It's for me too, but I show the animals that I'm educating on the internet, which is similar, sort of, but I would never get an animal that I don't actually want myself just for my job. Like, there's no way. So I recommend that you don't do that either. So there you go, $300 just in case, $200 for supplies, or you could flip that, $200 just in case, $300 for supplies, however, it's your money, do what you want with it. $500 for animals and their needs. I'll make it super simple. If you have $5,000, same ratio. Stick 30% in a just-in-case fund. Make sure you have all the supplies, because at this point, you probably have more animals. Maybe you need to upgrade your vehicle a little bit, so sell the one that you have and take a little bit of the extra money, right? Because you're gonna need something big enough to transport the animals. Maybe you're gonna wanna spend a little bit of money on advertising at this point. I highly recommend that. Rather than just organic growth on Facebook and Instagram, spend some money on advertising, and then maybe you want some different animals, higher end, whatever. If you have $10,000, same formula. Let's just keep this simple and move on. Otherwise, this video is gonna be 100 years long. So as I film this, I realized that the breeding part is gonna take too long, so that's in another video. So let's move on to social media. If you wanna see the breeding video, hit the like button and let me know in the comments section. It's filmed, I just have to edit it and release. Okay, social media. Here's how you become successful on social media with you know what? Forget $1,000 for free dollars. $0. Okay, no, let's give you a budget. 200 bucks. Here's how you do it for 200 bucks. If you're watching this, my analytics tell me there's a 70% chance you're doing it on a smartphone. And all smartphones have a camera that is decent enough for YouTube, modern ones anyway. If you've had a smartphone since, say, 2019, if that's what you do, probably, that phone is going to be good enough to make YouTube videos. Here's what you need to do to upgrade it so it sounds professional. Make sure that you have lighting, and make sure that you have a microphone. Microphone's not here, it's right here. And that's why my audio sounds, actually it could sound better, but it's kind of echoey in here. Echo. But anyway, that's why it sounds better than maybe yours does if you're just using a smartphone. The great news is you can buy really inexpensive microphones. This one here was $129. So you can buy that, and then you don't need a crazy system, like a crazy lighting system. You can just go ahead and get maybe even a lamp, like a desk lamp, a regular type of LED, and then put a shower cap over it to diffuse the light. And then you have something that can work as a lighting. Or go on Amazon and they sell soft boxes, that's what they're called. That's a whole kit with a stand and a softbox and a lighting element for like $100. So if you have 200 bucks, you can go buy a lighting kit, and you can buy a microphone, and you can use your smartphone, and that's it. Now, if you have a little bit more money, I recommend, well, I actually still use a $129 microphone. I think, honestly, if I did this versus the top end Rode microphone, or even like one of the crazy, $1,000, I don't think you're gonna notice the difference. Maybe like an audiophile will, but I'm not making videos for them. Or if you use the craziest aperture softbox, or you use one that I use, which is a Godox one, which was like $300 or $350 for the actual light. The stand was another $100 and the softbox was $100. So we're talking about $550, a very minimal expense, as opposed to an aperture lighting system of the same thing that's gonna cost $2,000 or more. So no matter how much money you have, get a lighting system, get a microphone, use your smartphone if you have no money, but if you wanna take better B-roll, if you wanna take videos like the Tarantula Collective, I'll use some of his B-roll here because it's wild. Might as well be Discovery Channel worthy. He uses a mirrorless camera and a variety of lenses. So I recommend, what I did is I bought a mirrorless camera back in 2019, right after I started this channel, and I used the kit lens. And then eventually I bought a better lens. So what I have now is I use the Sony A7C, and I have on it the, the Sony 24-105. It's the G, not the G Master lens. It's an f4, so it doesn't matter if it's like this, or it's like this. Hey, what's up? It doesn't matter, it's a constant aperture. So all that means is you don't have to you're gonna do more research on what aperture, shutter speed, and anyway, let's move on. But I literally got over 100,000 subscribers with a Canon M50, which cost me like, I don't know, $600. So it's not about the money you spend, it's about learning to use your tools. So I would recommend that if you have a little bit more money, like say $1,000 or a little bit more than that even, take a Skillshare class. I used to be sponsored by Skillshare. They're not sponsoring this video, or it doesn't matter. A different learning outlet. Learn on YouTube videos. Every single thing that I've ever learned on YouTube, every single thing I've ever learned is from YouTube. I learned how to do better lighting, better sound, how to make videos, how to edit videos. I watched Peter McKinnon videos, Matty Apoya. I just dove right into it, and you will too. Here's where to spend the money though. I'm getting kind of off track. Have the best setups. That's what I recommend. everybody compliments me on the setups that I have. Or not everybody, but a lot of people. Because I don't keep all my ball pythons in a rack, not saying that it's the end of the world if you do, but I keep them in big 4x2x2 enclosures. I make them nice, I make them beautiful. My dart frogs are in beautiful enclosures, and it does cost a lot of money to do this. Also, the money is going to go towards feeding your reptiles, upgrading all the time. This room is huge. This is a 400 square foot room, and it's got I don't even know what the enclosures cost in this room. Like, it's thousands and thousands and thousands. I'm not recommending that you keep this many animals. I'm just saying keep animals in the most beautiful enclosures possible that still are the most functional. And a lot of the time, those two things go together. If you have a little bit more money, spend it on advertising. This is something I've never really done. I've never spent money on advertising. My channel growth is completely organic, but it does work for some people. For example, every article I ever freaking read in the last month, Dave Kaufman's face has been on because of that ball python movie, which I recommend you watch, by the way. It's awesome. Dave, I don't want to see your freaking face anymore, man. Stop spending so much money on advertising. I'm kidding. It's a great movie. Your hair looked great, Dave. Next, I would recommend spending money on automation for your animals, because here's the deal. If you're going to be on social media, TikTok, YouTube, whatever, it takes so much time to edit. Insane amounts of time. This looks easy, it's not. I work 80 hours a week, every single week at least. And if you want to make your life easier and you have a bunch of reptiles, buy a misting system, buy smart timers, buy things that are going to make your life easier, because you're not going to have time to go mist this many enclosures every day. I promise you. This saves me about an hour a day just having a misting system, and it costs what? $400? If you have all the money in the world, 10 grand, buy a wicked system to edit on. Because there are Kayla, I can't even, okay, unbelievable. Kayla Roach edits her videos on her phone, and they are amazing. I would rather chop my ears off and throw them in a river than edit these videos on a phone. It would take way too long. I have a pretty good computer, and I have a wicked monitor, and I have a wicked system, and it's all in all probably 4 grand. But again, this is what I do for a living. So this was an expense. It's a one-time purchase. You don't have to start with that. I started with a laptop that I bought in 2013, and I bought Adobe Pro, which I recommend. Buy a great piece of software or pay a subscription for a good piece of software. You can't make them on Windows Movie Maker if you want to make videos like this, but you can start off with what you have, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't have to be intimidating, and grow. As your channel grows, as your TikTok grows, whatever, you can grow too, and then you can upgrade and spend more money. But here are the keys to success that cost you no money, and I'm gonna do this and then we'll finish. I know this is kind of rambling. Never miss a video. I have been sick with food poisoning. I have been sick with you know what that I can't say, otherwise the algorithm takes it down. That has, you know what I'm talking about.
Speaking moistly.
I have lost both grandparents in the same month. While I was on a trip to Costa Rica, I did not miss an upload. Not one. 0 excuses ever. Because the algorithm on YouTube especially loves consistency. TikTok too. So if you're going to miss uploads, you're going to miss opportunities. And that costs you no money to do. Next, get better at something every video. If you watch my very first video,
Colder than a mother-in-law's heart out here, but it's breeding season. Reptiles are fornicating, which means they gotta eat.
it's in portrait orientation. I didn't even know the right orientation. I knew nothing, right? And look at that compared to videos like now. I'm not saying I'm the best at what I do at all. I'm decent. Obviously, you guys are watching. 200,000 people watch this. But at the end of the day, I have gotten so much better because I've committed to every week get better at one thing that costs nothing. No money, just time and effort. That's it. That's all. If you liked the video, please hit like, subscribe. Let me know about your journey to make money with reptiles in the link below. And as always, Patreon. Thank you guys so much for supporting. You guys get extra content, videos early, discounts on the merch. You guys know about extra trips, all this stuff for as little as $1 a month. And, oh, the camera's about to overheat. Because we do videos twice a week, that means I'll see you in the next one. Oh, it's literally shutting off.